Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. This is Darkness in Dublin. And tonight, my character Alexander Rothschild is arriving at someone who he has heard got into some trouble lately. He's spoken to Hannah in order to, sorry, I spoke to Katrina
Katrina.
in order to find her, and he's messaged her in advance that he is coming, when he will be coming, to the exact date and time. And in exactly that time that he said, there is a large, luxurious limousine driving up into or in front of the block of houses where she is residing, where she has her place of residence, maybe, or even a haven. Um, as the car stops, a man walks out. Yeah, he's a little bit of an older man, graying hair, and he's wearing a hat. And as he does, he walks to the back of the car and then opens the door. As a polite bow, there's a man stepping out. He looks in his 30s, 40s maybe. It's hard to tell. He's got a fair face and a very, very distinguished look. Um, like he comes from money. He's carrying a briefcase and an umbrella. You should. It's Ireland after all. And then he makes his way towards the apartment that he has memorized, and then he pushes the button, the exact button that he needs to push in order to ring her doorbell.
So I assume this is the bell on the entrance of the building, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll buzz you in and you can come to the top floor where the apartment is.
He pushes the door open with the umbrella, trying not to touch the door, and then he moves on slowly, tapping the floor every step, every so step.
Oh,
And
there's an elevator, by the way.
yes, but instead of taking the elevator, he does not trust the electronics, and it's an amazing place to be trapped. And he slowly starts walking up on the stairs, and on the top stairs, he looks for the right apartment, unless he has the whole floor, and then he simply knocks on the door with the umbrella.
Monique will open after a few seconds. Good evening, sir. I assume you're Mr. Rothschild?
Indeed, indeed, my name is Alexander Rothschild. Thank you for receiving me on such short notice. I assume that I speak with Monique Courbet,
Indeed. It's nice to make your acquaintance. And she will extend her hand to shake.
as she offers her hand. He will politely bow, kiss the top of her hand like an older gentleman, and then say, with your permission, as he's still waiting at the door.
Please do come in. And she will
As,
do a small bow.
as soon as you invite him, a well dressed man in a what looks to be a very expensive three-piece suit is stepping inside. He adjusts his collar, adjusts his tie, and then tries to observe the room.
Uh, Please, do you want to sit down? And she points to the living room, which is on the right side as you go in. Behind it, you can see there's a small kitchen and what appears to be another room behind it. And on your left side, there's a long corridor. You don't see what's there.
He smiles, a quick smile, and then says, "Yes, thank you, of course." And then he walks over to the door, over to the table where there are seats, and he takes the seat that has the overview of most other entrances. And then he places his briefcase on the table and hangs his umbrella on the edge.
So he's technically in the kitchen, if I'm understanding that
Yes.
correctly.
Yep.
Okay. Monique will follow also the kitchen and sit on a chair next to him. So to what do I owe the pleasure of your company this evening, sir?
A pleasure, I hope
And
it will be.
is there anything I could offer you, perhaps? I don't have much, but
The offer is all I really needed. No, thank you. I'm quite sustained in what I have.
good,
I'm
good.
here on multiple businesses, but as a keeper, I like to consider myself a caretaker of the Elysium and therefore slightly the kindred within the city. And your name came up during conversation recently, and I was wondering if I could be of assistance to you.
Mm, I don't know if anyone can be of assistance to me. I don't know if I would want assistance. I I am currently in a hell of my own doing, and I myself have to find a way to get out of it, if at all possible.
Only small pieces of the rumor has met my ears. I heard there was an exchange of very valuable boons that you are the, I wouldn't say victim of, but are definitely the target of.
Indeed.
So, in this situation, must we consider the fact that you are now stepping away from your own clan duties and serve the other as you are owed such a huge boon?
I don't think I'd be okay with that, honestly. I want to take a different approach, but it's a bit early for that. By the way, I want to roll an Auspex, see if I can read his aura. So I'm gonna roll 3, 6, 5. Mm, rolls. Okay, let's see.
There you go.
Ooh, I got 4 successes. Nice. So, you know the colors, or if not, you can just describe.
I
Um,
believe I believe the colors is light blue mostly. I believe that one
yeah,
is to do with analytical. So he's assessing her. He's trying to
let me
measure
bring
her
that
value.
back real quick because I have it here. So, light blue is calm,
Yeah.
but I need like 3 or 4 more colors that going through right now.
Let me get the colors of myself. And you would like more colors, I get that.
Yep. I mean, it's 4 successes. It's pretty good. Almost
Yes.
perfect.
Oh, perfection. Such an interesting thing.
Well,
All right,
anyway,
yeah,
or
got you.
you
I got the list. So, you can see he's there's a lavender color, um, and of course, there is the blue, the light blue color I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a um, how would you say a slight hint of pink in there as
Mm-hmm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe
Okay.
a brush of yellow. Those are the four colors at the moment that you see.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, that's what you see.
Well, I don't want to step away from my clan, that's for sure. I will remain in the background for the time being, however, as much as I can, and work on my own project, so to speak. If I can help, I'll help. And there are some other ideas that I have, but those are just early thoughts, I suppose.
I'm glad you're looking at this situation quite pragmatic. I would be more troubled if I were you.
Well, what's there to do? If I
Not,
die, I die. That's how it is.
yeah,
I'll
but a,
try not to,
but a
but
life, but a life boon, my dear, has nothing to do with death. It is a part that could be in the equation, but there is a larger steps towards finality, so to speak. For instance, a life boon could be used to request very deep clan secrets, betrayal, something that is, of course, very much questioned.
and what will happen if I refuse that?
Well, that's the trouble.
What? He's
Some
gonna kill
things,
me? He's gonna
no.
kill me anyway.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, there aren't many ways to get out of it.
Well, for instance, there's a way out of it. You could save his life, for instance.
Hm, like that will ever happen.
I don't
You've
know.
seen the guy? Have you seen him?
I have met him once, yes.
He's floating. At the very thought of danger, he would like fly away from there. There might be
That's
things that I can do to perhaps negotiate it down, but it will take a lot.
it
But
would.
I am more than willing to do them.
I assume, but why would he accept any of it? I mean, he is already have full price. Why negotiate it down? He doesn't win anything for it.
It might be something that I do that benefits him greatly,
I
or
think
his clan,
I think
or
having that
everyone.
I think that life boon you owe him already benefits him very much because
Eh,
it's hanging
not
over your
really.
head
I'm not.
like a
I'm not
sword
that
of
important.
Damocles. It's not about
But I'm
your
not that.
importance. It is about the fact that he now holds this over you and therefore partially over your clan.
I know that I'm expendable at the
Oh,
moment.
just as I'm about to be here because I want you to be less expendable.
Well, it will take a lot of work and a lot of
Yes,
time, I assume.
of course. But then again, time is what we are blessed with, so to speak. We have a
Hmm,
lot of it, especially
that's
if we're not
debatable.
foolish. Well, if we're not foolish, we can have a lot of time. So at the moment,
From what you know of me, am I even capable of not being foolish? I'm
I
wondering lately.
I have not met you long enough. to make that measurement. However, the things that I have heard are not exactly in your favor. However, this does not mean that you cannot be useful, that you cannot have value to the court, to the prince, to the Primogen Council.
The prince doesn't even notice me.
He doesn't have to notice you.
He noticed me now because I did something horrific and I caused a very dangerous situation.
Yes,
And I compromised my sire and my clan.
yes. So there are a few ways to deal with this, and none of them are particularly fun to do, but some can be useful, as I said. What I'd like to see, Monique, is that you prove to the court that you have use. Because if you're useful, then maybe people will take an interest in you and actually maybe trade down the life boon into a set of major boons. I don't know. At the moment, nobody really knows what you can do. I'd
Well,
like to help you show
my
what you can do.
skills are a bit limited, however.
Uh, most skills people have can be learned, and for learning, you only need time. Yet we have time enough.
Maybe. I'm not that positive about it right now.
I understand. I'm not here to give you positivity. I'm here to give you options. After
Alright?
all, I want this court as an entirety to function well.
So, what are my options then, in your opinion?
Well, this all depends on your skill set. But there are troublesome things happening in the city right now that could use your attention, perhaps.
Is the city in need of art restoration?
No, I don't think a particularly art restoration is what it's looking for.
How about lessons in art history, piano lessons, language lessons? These are the
Ooh,
skills I have.
yes, I hear language lessons. Now, this is very important. This could help. You could teach people languages, any language in particular.
Well, my native is French. I also speak German and Italian.
Wonderful. So, you could offer language lessons to people for boons. This would increase your value. If more people are invested in you, they less likely want you dead.
Hmm. And
Also,
how many do you expect would take me up on this offer if I
well,
were to offer it?
that depends on what else you're willing to do. You say lessons in teaching. Well, these have value, but not a very high value. They have a repetitive value. You can teach many things to many different people. However, the city also needs, how would you say, members that momentarily are less valued, which would be capable of doing more dangerous work. The court wouldn't be particularly sad if you should die. However, should you survive, you increase your value.
Well, the thing I'm planning to do doesn't really guarantee my survival, but there's
Well,
something I want to try,
all right.
perhaps.
What would you like to try before I make my proposition?
Well, this is a long-term goal. It doesn't really mean much for the moment. I've yet to make my final thoughts on it or even present it to the interested parties.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't feel comfortable discussing it right now.
That's okay. That's fully respectable. I do not think that I'm the person to discuss personal matters with yet. So, listen to my proposition then. Currently, we have a lot of potential enemies in the city. One of these enemies are our, how would you say, arch enemies?
Mm-hmm.
Those that are looking for our ultimate destruction, the breaking of the masquerade. Now, I'm absolutely sure that an art connoisseur doesn't really have, at the moment, the influences and the strength to deal with those things. However, you might know people that have. You could be a mediator, a broker of
The
information.
people the people I know are already involved.
So tell me, Monique, do you
Mm-hmm.
have a way to get into upper class parties?
I'm not sure anymore.
It would be,
Usually, what I need to do was just go to my sire and ask for a party. Now, of course, that option is no longer on the table, so I don't believe I have the means.
well, I'm sure at those parties that you have been to before, you have met people. Why don't you connect with one of those people? As an example,
Well,
branch out on your own.
I do not have many contacts in the city.
Contacts can
I've
be
only
made.
recently started being more active, and I only know the few people that I know from the court.
Hmm. So my advice, free of charge, is try offering lessons of language. I happily take one myself from you, if you will. As well.
If you wish.
Yes, I do. Because I want to invest in you. I see potential. There are options. I don't mind learning more things than I know right now. And I advise you to look either for something to be useful in parties, as such, connecting with a higher upper class might be a thing. You might decide you want to branch out in something like media. Those things are always valued and
I
does not
understand.
have.
However, at the moment, I don't think I'm at the right state of mind to be making lots of social calls or parties. I can't even think of a party right now. It's still too fresh and too painful. I can't just brush it off.
I understand. But you have to get back on the horse before the horse runs away and you're out
Well,
in the
I
desert.
take this time to focus on some work that I
Hmm.
have taken from another kindred,
All right.
but I wouldn't say no to more ventures. I could use either resources or favors or just contacts.
Well, I do have a large collection of paintings that might need, how would you say, repair.
I'll be glad to take a look for you if you wish.
Sure.
However, keep in mind that for the next month. My restoration work has been already booked, so it will be after that.
This is totally fine. I expect to be here for a while, and so will the art. So I suggest, in 1 month, come see me at this address. And from his briefcase, he takes out a card with an address and places it on the kitchen table.
Monica will pick it up and look it over,
If
and she will
she's
turn around. Her purse is on the counter, and she will put it in her wallet.
if she's familiar with Dublin a little bit, then she would recognize instantly that the location of the address that he's given you is in the high class area of
Yeah,
the city, actually a little bit away from the city.
yeah.
He then looks at Monique and says, I hate to see you in this predicament, but I'm here to give you options and ideas so you could be useful to the court, and maybe then that life boon is one that can be hung around for a
Oh,
while instead of used, because I don't
I
want to
will
see you
do.
ended, that be
Well, I'm
wasted.
prepared to do whatever it takes to at least restore some of what I had, or
At the moment, the thing that suffered most is your good name and reputation.
no, the thing that suffered the most is my sire.
Hmm. His name and his reputation. And Alexander rises up from the chair. He takes his umbrella and says, we'll be seeing each other again, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I'd be delighted to see you again.
How
And
do you
she
say
kind of forces a smile.
how do you say goodbye in French?
uh, Now you want me to remember that? Depends.
I believe
I don't
it's
remember.
au revoir.
Yeah, that means something like be seeing you or something like that.
Yes, and with those words, as he speaks them, he walks down the stairs again.
Good evening to you too. And she will go back to her studio and continue some research that she was doing.
And with that, I'll end the scene.